think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
After months of courtroom theatrics, viral mayhem, and ABC scrambling to contain the fallout, Karoline Leavitt has done the unthinkable. She's just won an $800 million defamation suit against The View. Yes, $800 million. The once untouchable daytime juggernaut is reeling, with Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and Sunny Hostin stunned as their credibility shatters. Karoline didn't just win, she changed the game. This isn't just personal. It's a cultural reset, a moment where someone finally stared down legacy media and said enough. So how did it happen? What exactly did The View say to spark this firestorm? And how did Karoline flip a viral hit job into a legal knockout? Strap in. This one's a roller coaster. Like most meltdowns on The View, it started with a smirk, a condescending jab, and an ambush disguised as daytime banter. Karoline walked in calm and confident, ready to talk national defense and civic engagement, but instead got a live setup designed to silence her.
They really don't like this woman. She's a good communicator. And so Joy Behar just offered her analysis on why Leavitt was picked for the role.
They made it clear they didn't like her. Karoline's composure and sharp delivery rattled the table, and Joy Behar led the charge with a sarcastic smirk. Karoline's not here for her intellect. Trump probably just thinks she's a 10. The audience laughed, not kindly, but with that cutting edge meant to sting. Sunny Hostin jumped in before the noise even faded. This isn't about qualifications. She's just a poster child for privilege. Then Whoopi sealed it, arms crossed, dropping the line that lit the fuse. If it weren't for wokeness, you wouldn't even have a job. Within hours, the clip went viral. Hashtags like hashtag Karoline Setup and hashtag View Unhinged trended everywhere. And Karoline? No rant, no meltdown. She straightened her blazer, sipped her water, and smiled.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
Women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right. ABC should wait.
Karoline didn't flinch. The second camera's cut. She made the call that flipped everything. Her legal team. Hours later, headlines roared. Karoline Leavitt sues The View for $800 million. ABC in turmoil after defamation bombshell. Suddenly, the smirks were gone. This wasn't Twitter drama. This was war. Armed with elite lawyers, airtight documentation, and a digital arsenal, Karoline's case boiled down to one charge: character assassination. And the receipts were brutal. Transcripts of every jab, raw feeds with off-air snickers, even Slack chats of producers plotting the ambush. The smoking gun? Pre-show notes spelling it out. Let Joy open with a looks jab. Whoopi will end with a dagger. That was proof it wasn't debate, it was a setup. ABC was blindsided. Execs panicked, legal scrambled, PR pulled all-nighters. Insiders admitted it. This wasn't damage control, it was an implosion.
President Trump's life echoed the sentiment that President Trump is a to democracy. And if you're a deranged lunatic and you're mentally ill, you will believe that lie. And yes, you will take political violence like we have seen in 2 instances against President Trump. Last week, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris said that everyone who showed up to President Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden was a Nazi. That's despicable, dangerous, divisive rhetoric that is spewed by the Democrat Party every single.
Karoline Leavitt wasn't just another guest anymore. She was the woman who shattered the illusion of harmless banter and forced The View to face consequences for years of unchecked bias. She wasn't trending for a soundbite. She was trending because she did the unthinkable. The moment the lawsuit hit headlines, ABC flipped from smug to scramble. Behind the polished sets, chaos took over. Whispers replaced laughter. Panic replaced confidence. Insiders say the first to crack was Whoopi Goldberg. The queen of comebacks, suddenly cautious, reached out through a mutual contact asking, "Can we just talk?" No need to make this worse. But already had. Joy Behar, known for fire on air, reportedly called one of Karoline's lawyers herself, floating a settlement or even a public apology. And Sunny Hostin? She skipped the niceties, As the only attorney at the table, she immediately consulted her own legal team, worried about personal liability, even asking if she could be dropped from the case. Meanwhile, Karoline's legal camp didn't budge. While the View scrambled to smother the fire, Karoline calmly stoked the flames.
Isn't it rich that the View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on looks?
Isn't it ironic? The View mocked Karoline for supposedly getting a job based on her looks, while their entire DEI dogma is built around appearances. Meanwhile, ABC's boardroom turned into a war zone. Daily crisis calls, frantic debates, endless what-ifs. Settlement talks were tossed around, but one phrase kept surfacing in hushed tones. Cancel the show. That word slipped out during a midnight meeting between lawyers and PR, but whispers don't stay whispers. Staff leaked it, text spread, and Twitter detonated. Suddenly, the Empire wasn't a talk show anymore. It was a liability. Karoline didn't budge. Her lawyers dropped one line that shook Hollywood. Accountability cannot be negotiated. That's when the tide turned. While ABC scrambled for a half-hearted apology, Karoline doubled down. Then came the spectacle. Courtroom lights, cameras flashing, fans jammed and like it was red carpet night. Karoline walked in like thunder in a Navy suit. Calm, controlled, not a strand out of place. Across the aisle? A different story. Whoopi hid behind sunglasses, rigid and pale. Joy sat stone-faced, drained of sarcasm. Sunny clutched her papers like a lifeline, nerves written across her face. The trial kicked off with a gut punch, slow-motion reruns of the mockery itself. Clip after clip stacked into a wall of humiliation. The courtroom fell silent. Then came the receipts, emails, Slack messages, meeting notes. On the big screen, we need a viral moment. Karoline's the target today. Gasps broke out. Jurors stared, stunned. And then the final dagger, a leaked producer memo. We got what we needed, she cracked. But she hadn't. Karoline sat steady, unreadable, while the hosts visibly crumbled. When the jury returned, the room froze. The foreperson stood, turned to the judge, and delivered the verdict. Guilty of defamation. ABC and The View owed $800 million. Let that number sink in. 800 million. The internet combusted. TikTok edits flooded feeds. YouTubers streamed reactions live. Anchors called it the most expensive talk show blunder in television history. And Karoline? No gloating, no grandstanding. She rose, thanked her team, smiled at the cameras, and walked out like the headline was hers all along.
Divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
The morning after the verdict, ABC was in full-blown crisis. Advertisers bailed within hours, PR teams scrambled, and executives clashed over whether to rebrand The View or scrap it entirely. A leaked memo stamped urgent admitted, "We underestimated this guest. We underestimated this lawsuit. And now we're the worst PR disaster in network history." Whoopi vanished from set. Joy went silent. Sunny disappeared. And producers ducked the press as insiders described the mood as a funeral. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt skyrocketed, hailed as a media reform icon, even dubbed the conservative AOC, with her social media exploding and one viral post summing it up. She didn't just win in court, she won a generation's trust.
There's a lot of reporting out there that is putting the onus on this White House for the increased cost of eggs. I would like to point out to each and every one of you that in 2024, when Joe Biden was in the Oval Office, or upstairs with the residents sleeping, I'm not so sure, egg prices increased 65% in this country. We also have seen the cost of everything, not just eggs. Bacon, groceries, gasoline have increased because of the inflationary policies of the last administration.
Some fans are already turning the verdict into a brand. Shirts popping up with the slogan, $800 million buy silence, and stickers reading, "Mock at your own risk. Lawyer up." What started as a lawsuit is now a movement. And while The View scrambles to patch up the wreckage, Karoline is standing taller than ever.
Do you want to take this?
So, you cannot be attractive and smart? I will try to give Joy the benefit, and well, thank you. I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing. Because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman who held her own.
I mean, you would have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she did absolutely no research or reading about anything dealing with Karoline Leavitt before she made that remark.
So where does it go from here? The shockwaves are already shaking the industry. Talk show bookers are rewriting guest playbooks. Legal teams are rushing to drill hosts on boundaries, and network execs are huddling behind closed doors to rein in what goes out live. The message is loud and clear. You can't just toss out insults on national TV and walk away with a smirk. Not with Karoline Leavitt sitting on the other side of the table. She didn't need to shout. She didn't need to gloat. She dismantled one of the loudest stages in daytime TV with nothing more than evidence, discipline, and a steady hand. This verdict didn't just change her life. It sent a warning shot to every producer, every anchor, every network. Words carry weight, and now they carry consequences.
Yes, and as you mentioned, with conservative women, there's a long list of that, both of Trump's previous press secretaries, females, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Kayleigh McEnany, other figures like his campaign manager the first time, Kellyanne Conway, Sarah Palin very famously had to bear the brunt of a lot of this. So people are used to that. I think in their bubble of the audience that The View speaks to, that's probably kind of what the group think is. So one defense, I guess, is that she was speaking to her audience, but you take it outside of that bubble the way you are right now, and we all can see.
Now, over to you. Was Karoline right to drag this fight into court? Did The View finally cross a line they couldn't come back from? Are we watching the birth of a new era where media giants are forced to answer for their own words? Drop your take in the comments. We're watching every single one. And before you click away, smash that like button if you still believe truth matters. And hit subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in this story. Because Karoline Leavitt just proved something seismic. This wasn't a punchline, it was a verdict, and The View may never recover. Stay tuned.